What's going on, guys? It's Swimzyy here, and in today's Warframe video we are going to have a look at what Baro has brought for this rotation. Baro is currently on the Orcus relay on Pluto, and we are just going to see what he has for this week, and I'm just going to give my input on what you should get and what you should avoid. Before we get into the video, if you did enjoy this video, then please help me out by liking, sharing and subscribing, and with that being said, let's get straight into it. Alright, so first we have the Ultra Sentinel skin. For 150,000 credits and 300 ducats, you can pick up a skin for your Sentinel. This skin will make your Sentinel indistinguishable from the corrupted air sentries in the Void. This skin does look pretty unique, but I would stay away from it because of how expensive it is. Moving on, we have Jolt. For 150,000 credits and 300 ducats, you can purchase a pistol mod that increases electricity and status chance by 60%. This mod is worth it in my opinion since it increases both status chance and electricity and can be used to make corrosive gas or viral elements. I would highly recommend picking up this mod. Next we have Maim. For 150,000 credits and 375 ducats, you can pick up yet another pistol mod that increases slash damage by 120%. This mod isn't as good as Jolt, however it can be used to buff slash damage on pistols. This mod can be obtained by defeating the Eidolon Hydralisk and has an 8.33% chance of dropping. I would only buy this mod if you have the spare credits and ducats, or if you've been unlucky in farming the Eidolon Hydralisk. Next up we have Fanged Fusillade. For 150,000 credits and 375 ducats, you can purchase a rifle mod that increases slash damage by 120%. This mod can be pretty useful on rifles that prioritize slash damage, but it doesn't have many uses. This mod can also be obtained by defeating the Eidolon Hydralisk and has an 8.33% chance of dropping. Again, like the previous item, I would only buy this mod if you have the spare credits and ducats, or if you've been unlucky in farming those Eidolon Hydralisks. Next up we have Shell Shock. For 150,000 credits and 300 ducats, you can pick up a shotgun mod that increases electricity and status chance by plus 60%. Just like Jolt earlier, this is the exact same mod just for shotguns. This mod in my opinion is worth it because it increases both status chance and electricity damage, and it can be used to make corrosive, gas or viral elements. I would pick this useful mod up. Moving on, we have the Lisette Prisma skin. For 150,000 credits and 120 ducats, you can pick up a Prisma variant of the Lisette Landing Craft. This skin does have some nice details like a reflective design and some active features like the Prisma effect, but it is purely cosmetic, so it's up to you if you want to purchase this or not. Next up, we have the Inaros Tomb scene. For 175,000 credits and 325 ducats, you can purchase a capture scene of the Inaros tomb in his quest, The Sands of Inaros. If you are big into Captura or just want to mess around with cinematics, then this will be a great scene to use. Moving on, we have the Scimitar Prisma skin. For 450,000 credits and 210 ducats, you can purchase a Prisma variant of the Scimitar Landing Craft. It does have a reflective design and the Prisma effect, and it's purely cosmetic, so once again, it is your choice. Next up we have the Anpu Sugatra. For 250,000 credits and 250 ducats, you can pick up a melee dangly that moves whenever you slide, glide or dodge. This again is purely cosmetic, but it does look pretty good, so personally I would purchase this, however the choice is still yours. Next up we have the Anpu Staff skin. For 250,000 credits and 325 ducats, you can purchase a skin for staffs that is based on the Sugatra we just looked at. The skin itself looks decent and it's got a Teer effect to it, but I would not purchase this due to the price. Next up we have the 3-day credit booster. For 75,000 credits and 350 ducats, you can pick up a booster that doubles your credit drops for 3 days. This can be really useful for if you are a new player or just low on credits. You could also purchase this booster for 40 platinum in the marketplace at any time, but with this around I would definitely recommend you pick this up. Moving on, we have the EOS Prime armor set. For 260,000 credits and 285 ducats, you can purchase an armor set that looks pretty nice. This armor set is also active with a pattern that constantly moves up and around the armor pieces. You have the 2 shoulder plates, the chest plate and the 2 spurs. As always, this is purely cosmetic, so if you want it then you might as well pick it up. Next up we have the Sonicor Elixir skin. For 175,000 credits and 380 ducats, you can pick up a skin for the Sonicor secondary weapon. The skin is fully bronze with some etched detailing that looks pretty cool, and the Elixir skins themselves usually look pretty good, and this one is definitely one of the better ones. It is up to you if you want to purchase this skin. I'm not going to, but the choice is yours. Moving on, we have the Prisma Grinlock. For 220,000 credits and 500 ducats, you can pick up our first weapon of the day, which is the Prisma variant of the Grinlock. This weapon is really good since it does decent damage at medium and long ranges. The 21% crit chance and the 2.9 times crit multiplier coupled with the 37% status allows you to build this weapon for either crit or status. Overall, this is one of the better weapons that Baro can bring, and I would highly recommend you pick this weapon up for both the damage and the mastery XP. Moving swiftly on, we have the Galaxian Vandal. For 250,000 credits and 475 ducats, you can purchase our last weapon of the day, which is the Galaxian Vandal. This weapon is really good at cleaning out tile sets, and the 14% crit chance is pretty terrible, but the 2 times crit multiplier and the 38% status chance make up for it. Even though this weapon is pretty good, I would only pick it up for the mastery XP, since the new Tenant variant dropped recently, and it clears this weapon tenfold. Next, we have the Deimos Chimeros Prex. For 100,000 credits and 75 ducats, you can pick up a Prex card of the Chimeros, a fish only found on Deimos. It's a bit too expensive for me, but if you want it, you can purchase it. As well as that, we have the Deimos Fax Prex. For 100,000 credits and 75 ducats, you can purchase a Prex card of the Fast Worm that can only be seen on Deimos. The same case for the previous Prex card, it's a bit too expensive, but it's up to you. Next, we have the Rishantur Cult Sindana. For 350,000 credits and 400 ducats, you can pick up a unique Sindana that has some Nether lore behind it. This is purely cosmetic once again, so it's up to you if you want to purchase this. I'm not a big fan on the ruined Sindanas, but it's up to you. Moving on, we have the Gara Immortal skin. For 100,000 credits and 550 ducats, you can purchase the Immortal skin for Gara. This skin is one of, if not the best Immortal skin that Baro can bring, and if you main Gara or casually player, then I would recommend picking this skin up. It's pretty expensive, but it does look pretty good. Next up, we have the Basilisk Fighter Decoration. For 100,000 credits and 100 ducats, you can purchase a Corpus Fighter Decoration from Railjack. It's a pretty cool decoration, and it can be used to make some pretty decent Railjack murals. Moving on, we have the Transmuter Operator Hood. For 450,000 credits and 450 ducats, you can pick up an Operator/Drifter Hood accessory. This hood does have some interesting lore behind it, and it looks very unique. It's also pretty expensive, so I would only pick this up if you either want it or have the spare ducats and credits. Moving on, we have the Ultra Sentinel Wings. For 500,000 credits and 400 ducats, you can purchase the second part of the Ultra set. The wings are pretty expensive, but it could be a nice addition to your Sentinel. If it was up to me, I would avoid this at all costs, but the choice is yours. Next up, we have our first and only primed mod, which is Primed Cleanse Corpus. For 140,000 credits and 350 ducats, you can purchase a primed shotgun mod that will help you deal more damage against the Corpus faction by times 1.55. Faction mods can be very beneficial in endgame missions, so I would highly recommend that you purchase this mod since it does give more than the standard counterpart. Second to last, we have the Feypath Ephemera. For 1,000 credits and 15 ducats, you can pick up an Autumn Leaf Ephemera. It is an animated ephemera which helps those fashion frame enthusiasts, and in my opinion looks pretty good. Lastly, we have the Sands of Inaris Blueprint. For 25,000 credits and 100 ducats, you can pick up a blueprint that starts the Sands of Inaris quest to get the Warframe Inaris. The quest is a must-have to progress through the game, but it is also an amazing quest. If you miss out on picking this item up, unfortunately, you're going to have to wait 2 weeks until it is available again, since it can only be sold by Baro. I would recommend that you purchase this as soon as you can. Also, if you have Inaris Prime and talk to Baro, you will have access to the secret Baro Void Signal for 100 ducats and 25,000 credits. You complete a mission for Baro Teer, and in return you get a random reward out of the reward pool. I recommend you complete as many of these as possible. You won't get the best rewards, but you'll have a chance to get some decent cosmetics. Alrighty guys, so that has been everything that Baro Teer has brought for this rotation. Please let me know down below your favourite item that Baro has brought. For me, it would have to be Jolt. That 60% electricity and status really makes a difference in everyday builds. As always, if you enjoyed the video, please consider liking, sharing and subscribing. Thank you all so much for watching. It's been Swim guys. Later.